So originally I was going to make a video today on the 7200 G Master and compare it against the F4 version, but it's raining out in California and we have some awesome exciting news that Sony announced earlier today. So let's talk about it. For those of you who are new, my name is Jason Anthony and I'm a full-time content creator. On this channel, I like to focus around the Sony camera system and teach you guys how to improve your content creating skills. So if that's something you're into, consider subscribing. Earlier today, Sony had a press conference in San Diego announcing some pretty cool stuff. One being some firmware updates to the A9, the R3, and the 7 III that are going to be rolling out coming March and April. Now, I'm just going to brush upon this topic because I really want to talk to you about the a6400 that was announced and whether it's right for you, but let's talk about the firmware updates. It seems like they're adding some autofocusing features to this, so it's going to allow eye autofocus to work for video and then continuous autofocus throughout video with tracking where you could tap the screen, which are awesome features. Another thing when it comes to the eye autofocus is now it's going to be able to use for wildlife. So for you photographers that like to take pictures of animals, eye autofocus is going to work now, which is pretty cool. Not my cup of tea. However, for you guys that have the A9 and shoot on those really long lenses, you're gonna have a blast with that. Now let's talk about the not so anticipated, I'd say, pink elephant in the room, which is the a6400. Now, prior to last week, we were hearing rumors about the Sony a7000 being announced at CES, and to our dismay, it wasn't announced. Now, I made a video up here if you want to check out the rumored specs because it's looking really promising and going to be Sony's new flagship APS-C camera. However, last year at WPPI is when we first found out and saw the Sony a7 III. So WPPI is next month, and on Sony Alpha Rumors, they're saying that there's something still coming, and I'm praying it's the a7000 because that 4K 60, that 10-bit video, I really would love out of my Sony cameras. All right, so let's put up on the screen what the highlights are on this camera. We're gonna talk about price, pros, cons, and who I think this is for. Now, I hope you guys don't mind. I'm gonna be reading these specs off my phone because I wasn't gonna memorize everything, let's be real. So right now, when it comes to the camera itself, it's having 24.2 megapixels. That's great. That should be an industry standard on any crop sensor or entry-level full-frame camera. There's also going to be a fully tilting screen. Now, I'm glad to hear about this because it's gonna give me hope for the a7000 and S3. So this body is like the 6300, the 6500, and the 6000 body. However, it's going to have a feature that the 5100 had where the screen's gonna flip up from the back. So they're pretty much putting this out for vloggers. Now, there's a couple gripes that I have with this instead of it coming out from the side, and that's going to be, it looks like we have a microphone jack. The picture on the screen that you guys are seeing looks like there's a red input right there. So this looks like a microphone jack, which is great. However, if you throw a Rode shotgun mic on the top of the camera and you have the screen that's flipped out from the back, now you can't really frame out your shot. You can't really see yourself. So what are you supposed to do? Relocate the microphone and have it on the side with like a magic arm or something? Now, hold up. The whole point to having a vlogging camera is having a tiny footprint where you don't want to draw as much attention. So you can hold it out, get your shot like the G7X or the Sony RX100s and go. You don't really want to have a million attachments like a monitor on top, a microphone sticking out, a giant Gorilla Pod. Before you know it, you look like you're a professional videographer on a shoot, whipping around this thing, and people are looking at you like you're pretty much a douchebag. So the smaller the footprint, the better it's going to be. That's my only gripe so far. Now let's talk about some more features. It's going to have 4K 24, 4K 30, not 4K 60, and then it's going to have pretty much the standard features that the newer generation Sony bodies have. So you're going to have S&Q mode, you're going to have 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second for your B-roll and your slow motion. There's some new time-lapse function where you can do in-body time lapses, which S&Q kind of already has. And then we're gonna have a shutter count of 200,000 for the cycle. That's gonna be great. It's gonna last forever. Built-in Wi-Fi, pretty standard. Send yourself pictures onto your phone. Now, 425 phase and contrast detection points. That's dope. On that little sensor, it's probably going to be able to reach almost corner to corner, especially for a vlogging camera. When you're whipping it around and talking, you want to make sure you're in focus. And then up to 11 frames per second and ISO 102,400. So it's going to have a high ISO limit. Not really worried about that. Now let's talk about my list of pros and cons. Now, one big pro is the entry-level price point for the body. In the United States, $900 with a kit lens, about $1,200 to $1,300. So that's great. That's really low, especially for a vlogging camera with interchangeable lenses. We have the flip out screen, kind of a pro, kind of a con. For those of you guys that want to use the in-body microphone, you're going to be fine. I think people are way too critical about audio. And if you're doing a vlog, it's not going to be perfect anyway. So I would use it without the microphone or figure out some sort of way to manipulate it to keep it as small as possible and just shift it over. Now it's going to have awesome picture profiles. So for you videographers out there with an A7 III or an R3 and you're shooting hybrid log gamma, Cine 4, S-Log 2, S-Log 3, guess what? You now can get a B cam and match up your picture profiles. And now your workflow is going to be so much easier in post. So that's great news that they're adding these profiles into this new body. And the autofocus system. They're saying that this is one of the fastest autofocus systems to hit a Sony body yet, which is going to be awesome. You want fast autofocus if you're going to be vlogging, running and gunning. So that's really good. So let's talk about the cons. The one con that I really have with this camera, and I understand it's to keep costs down, but if you're promoting a vlogging camera, having in-body image stabilization is going to be awesome. The A7 III, the R3, those handheld shots, most of the time wouldn't be as smooth without their 5-axis image stabilization. So I would have loved to see that in this body, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, and I understand to keep the cost down, some features had to go. So just remember, if you plan on using this for vlogging and you don't want to use a gimbal, just get a wide lens. The wider the lens, the less it's going to be shaking around and looking jittery. So get yourself a wide lens and you guys should be good with that. My last gripe, and it's kind of like a hit and miss topic, is they didn't put the new Z100 batteries in this body. So we're using the older style batteries, which have horrible life. And the reason why I say this is good or bad or hit and miss is because if you're a professional or you're going to be using this camera on the daily, you should have 3 or 4 batteries no matter what. I personally have 4 batteries that are the Z100s, and I know that it's a little bit overkill, but I don't ever want to be in a situation where I don't have a charged battery. One thing you guys could do if you're doing talking head using this new camera is get a dummy battery, plug it into the wall, and then you have endless power and less of a chance that it's going to overheat, which is my last con. Now they're saying with this camera, you can continuously shoot 4K video for over 29 minutes. Now, if your card can hold that much and your battery has that much life in it, we know the older bodies, the smaller A6000 bodies used to overheat. So I'm curious to see how this is gonna pan out with this new body. Now, if you guys have any questions or concerns below, anything I haven't addressed about this camera, let me know in the comments below. I've been watching Manny Ortiz and Jason Vong's live videos, trying to get as much information. I watched iJustine's video because lucky for her, she got her hands on it early. Yeah, I wish Sony, if you're watching this, like, fly me out, guys. Like, let somebody that uses this on a professional shoot day in and day out, like, do some reviews. Come on. Hopefully I'll get there one day. So if you guys thought that this video had some value, if I answered some questions for you, if you're wondering if this is meant for you, leave a thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And until next time, guys, I'll see you soon. I have a lens review coming up, so make sure to check that out. I'm Jason Anthony. Peace.